The global weight loss industry is worth over $100 billion, but watching this video is completely free. How many of you guys watching this right now have tried losing weight at some point in your life? There's way more that goes into a weight loss journey than just eating less, and that's why I'm here to help you today. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Amanda, aka Fit Food AE, and today we're going to be talking about how to effectively go into a calorie deficit and lose weight step by step. So if you're excited to hear me speak about this topic, please give this video a like, subscribe, and share it with your friends, as it really helps the channel and I post new videos every week. And with that, let's get started. Okay, so I know a lot of you aren't going to want to hear this, but going into a calorie deficit might not actually be the best option for you to start off with. What do I mean by this? Well, the majority of my clients go into a reverse diet before lowering their calories and going into a deficit. So to give a quick little synopsis, if you've been chronically under eating, aka the number of daily average calories you're eating is way below your true maintenance, then you need to go into a reverse diet before going into a calorie deficit in order to fix your metabolism. So if this sounds like you, stop what you're doing, click pause on this video, and watch the video that I'm gonna link on the screen first, and then come back and watch this video after that. So if you've already done a reverse diet, or you've been tracking your calories for a while and know you're eating well over maintenance, or you're just fully aware that you're eating a ton, then it's time to go into a calorie deficit. A calorie deficit means burning more calories than you consume. So it's a combination of food and movement. So first thing you're gonna do is go to an online calorie calculator. I'm gonna link one in the description that you can go to. You're gonna use this calculator to calculate the number of calories you should be eating in order to be in a deficit based on your age, height, weight, and activity level. Now, you're probably gonna see 3 different options. There's gonna be mild weight loss, regular weight loss, and extreme weight loss. I know that some of you just wanna lose the weight as soon as possible and just go into a crash diet, but trust me, this is gonna backfire because the weight loss isn't gonna be sustainable. You're also gonna be miserable and cranky. You're probably gonna have trouble eating and drinking at social outings or when you go out to eat, and you're probably not gonna have the energy to perform well in the gym. So for the vast majority of people, I'd recommend trying to lose half a pound to a pound of body weight per week, unless of course you have a ton of weight to lose. You can always use trial and error here to figure out what you're most comfortable with. So as I mentioned before, a calorie deficit isn't just about the food. So in comes the concept of total daily energy expenditure, aka TDEE. This is the total number of calories you burn in a day, and it's dependent on 4 things. So this includes basal metabolic rate, which are the calories that your body consumes by sleeping and just existing basically. Physical activity, aka planned exercise. Non-exercise activity thermogenesis, aka NEAT. And the thermic effect of food, which are the calories that your body burns by digesting the food that you eat. So for this video, we're gonna focus on 2 of those areas. So the first one I'm gonna focus on is planned exercise. You're gonna have a much easier time losing weight if you incorporate planned exercise into your routine. This is because if your activity level is higher, then your body obviously needs more calories to function. Doing a combination of strength training and cardio is what I would recommend. If you're a beginner, starting off with 4 days at the gym, so 2 days upper body, 2 days lower body, and then aiming for 8 to 10K steps per day is a really good place to start. But if you hate weightlifting, there are so many other ways that you can incorporate movement into your life, like going for runs, playing sports, HIIT classes. So just do what works best for you and do what you think you're gonna be the most consistent with. Now let's focus on non-exercise activity thermogenesis, aka NEAT. So these are the calories that your body burns during not planned exercise, essentially, like walking to work, cleaning, gardening, if that's your thing. NEAT is a huge factor in weight loss, and a lot of people actually don't know that, or they just don't know what it is. The best ways to increase your NEAT are by making lifestyle changes. So walking or bike riding to work instead of driving, if that's feasible. Do your own chores instead of hiring a professional cleaner. You can save money that way as well. Take the stairs instead of the escalator. Park farther from the grocery store so you have a longer way to walk. I could probably do a whole video on this, but for now, you guys get the point. So now that you've planned out an exercise routine and figured out how many calories you're gonna be eating per day, here are my best practices for staying in a calorie deficit. So in order to stay consistent, you need to download a tracking app like MyFitnessPal to track your calories and macros. I know, I'm sorry. A lot of other fitness influencer type people are gonna tell you otherwise, but unless you have a ton of weight to lose, you're not gonna see the best results unless you use a fitness tracking app. If you're one of those people who's tried everything and hasn't been able to lose the weight, or you only have a small amount of weight to lose, I would highly recommend tracking as opposed to eating intuitively. Once you're done your deficit, you can eat intuitively. You have the rest of your life to do that. Eating enough protein is the second most important aspect of the calorie deficit pyramid. I'm probably gonna do a whole other video on this, so look out for that. Make sure to get 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. This will keep you full and will also help you maintain muscle mass. The goal of a calorie deficit is obviously to burn more calories than you consume, but you ideally want to stay full while doing this. If you just eat 2,000 calories of like chocolate chip cookies every day, sure, you might lose the weight, but you're gonna feel hungry and lethargic and probably feel like throwing up half the time. I love chocolate chip cookies, just in moderation, obviously. Eating meals that are higher in volume will also really help you with your calorie deficit. Volume eating means eating meals with a large amount of food for a lower number of calories, ideally that are higher in fiber or protein to help keep you full. Examples of foods that you can add to your meals or snacks to make them higher volume will be potatoes, egg whites, popcorn, etc. This is gonna make you feel like you're eating much more food, and it's gonna help keep you full as opposed to eating calorie-dense foods like Pop-Tarts or handfuls of nuts. As a rule of thumb, make sure your meals include fruits and vegetables in order to bulk them up for less calories. Another tip that sounds like a no-brainer, but I feel like not a lot of people actually incorporate this, is to use sugar-free syrups, sweeteners, and sauces in your foods, just like I do in my recipes. If you're in a calorie deficit, you don't need to be using up calories with like ketchup or maple syrup, just considering there are so many delicious sugar-free options out there like G Hughes. Also, when you're buying meat or dairy products, make sure to buy the fat-free or lower fat versions of those as well to save calories there. As I said before, a calorie deficit isn't going to be effective if it's not sustainable, so make sure that your calorie deficit isn't too large. If you have a lot of weight to lose, it could be tempting to lower your calories by like 700 or 800 daily. But in most cases, this is gonna be difficult to maintain and may end up leading to binging, and we don't want that. You may think that the lower you go, the faster you can achieve your results, but it's probably just gonna end up backfiring. It's better to set a more modest calorie deficit, like for example, 300 calories per day, and then increasing your activity level like I mentioned before. Another thing that you should do is experiment and figure out which meal times work best for you. I've never personally done intermittent fasting, and I don't necessarily promote it, but if you don't get hungry in the morning, it could be a lot easier to stick to a deficit if you start eating at noon rather than 8 a.m. Or if you tend to not get hungry late at night, just eat a larger dinner rather than saving calories for dessert. I would recommend planning your meals and snacks around your workout because that's when you're gonna need the most energy and be the hungriest. One of the most important things to remember is that a calorie deficit should be temporary, aka there should be an end date to your deficit. A good timeline to follow is 8 to 12 weeks in a deficit before you end that and then reverse your way back up to maintenance. From there, you could start another deficit after your diet break or continue to eat in maintenance if you're happy with your results. No one should be in a constant calorie deficit because that's just not sustainable and that's miserable. If you have a ton of weight to lose, so your end date is farther out, make sure to take diet breaks whenever you go on vacation, when there's special occasions, or just whenever you feel it's necessary. And that concludes the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope you found this video to be informative. Please comment below with any follow-up questions that you have, and I'll be sure to address them. Also, feel free to let me know which topics you want covered next. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe, and share it with your friends, as it really helps the channel, and I post new videos every week. And with that, I will see you guys next time. Bye.